Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I've just gotten off of uh, a vacation. My son was on vacation from school for a week and a half, so
Mm.
I'm uh,
Where did you
I'm a
guys
little
go?
I'm a little frazzled. But
Where did you go?
oh, we just did things around New York City. Yeah, it was fun. We
Okay,
yeah. It did parks and we went to Legoland and things like that and stuff. So
that's
it's
fun.
it's fun. Yeah, he's 7, so
Oh
it's
yeah.
everything's new, so it's awesome.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
So, Eunice, let's talk about you. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um, so why don't we tell? Why don't we start? Why don't we start with where you are right now?
I'm currently in South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, finishing up my degree. In fact, today is my document defense. So I will be, if everything goes smoothly, I will be graduating with my doctorate today. Um, and it's exciting, and I'm about to be done with school and close that chapter of my life and continue on with exciting projects like this project I'm really passionate about, and I feel super excited to be able to premiere works again. So thank you for having me, for sure.
Oh, thank you for being a part of this. I just remember seeing. I think it was a call for open score project,
Uh-huh.
and I was just like, "Oh wait, I think this cellist might like 15 minutes of fame. Let me write a quick little email."
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that is so awesome. You saw the call for scores. Was it on the Composers Society of Singapore? Oh,
I think so.
excellent. Yeah, that is actually part of my dissertation project. So to see and recognize how my dissertation idea is benefiting other aspects of my life is so exciting.
Well, since you're defending your stuff today, why don't you tell us a little bit about your dissertation?
So I'm writing about music, about Singapore. The title of the dissertation is Echoes of Heritage, documenting works, including cello by contemporary composers in Singapore. And it is essentially what what it does is introduce a little bit of history and cultural context of Singapore and why we have so many different cultures happening in the country. And at the end of the paper, I have a compendium which I collected works by cello works by Singaporean composers, and it's one of a kind document compendium thing. We have a collection of chamber works, solo works, cello and piano, cello and marimba, cello duos, cello electronics. So I think it's been a really fruitful project. I've had 86 pieces, including the cello, in the compendium, and I hope to be able to collect more by local composers. Yeah,
Fabulous.
thank you.
Yeah, I think you're going to do well on your challenge today, or your defense. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you. It will be awesome.
the so yeah, end of your educational career. It never ends. I mean, we're always learning.
I know. Yeah.
So what's in store for you coming up?
Um, well, the plan A is to be teaching, performing around this area in Columbia, South Carolina. I have a chamber ensemble called Some Strings Attached that we do a lot of like original works and works for our ensemble. It's a group of singer, pianist, violinist, violist, and myself, cellist. And we are trying to do more works and performances in this area. So probably be sticking around for that, and we'll see where it goes. I would love to curate more concerts, more recitals. So, if everything works out nicely, we can have more repertoire and premium more works in official recitals too. So that'll be
Fabulous.
super cool. Yeah.
And what type of works do you do in general? Do you just do a whole bunch of everything? Are you specific in a style or aesthetic?
I would say I would try anything and everything. I do like folk music a lot. I particularly enjoy representing certain cultures, especially of something that I can resonate with too. I play a lot of classical works as well. I like electronics a lot. I like minimalism. Yeah, honestly, anything and everything. And I told my composer in once upon a time when he was writing a piece for me for my recital, and I told him that I would try anything and everything, and he really did anything and everything for me. I had to do a scordatura during the piece itself, so I had to play and detune the string and continue playing, and then detune another set of strings, and it eventually comes back up again back to the CGDA tuning. But yeah, it was. Yeah, he got really experimental, so I have to be really careful what I say. But yeah, but I love trying things. So for sure, anything that come my way, I'll do it.
I will say this: scordatura wire performing is a dubious technique.
It's very, it was tricky because, well, I told him also, fortunately, I have the mechanical packs on my cello. So if I detune it, it stays in place. And it's not going to go far off. It's actually easy to detune and tune back up. So we don't have to worry so much about the pegs slipping at all. Yeah, so it's fancy. And it worked out really well for a very cool effect for the piece. So,
Sure.
and that piece was about Singapore. It's called Sounds of Singapore, by a dear friend, and he, Chi Hang Si, and he's from Singapore as well. And he wrote music for different movements of representation, representing Singapore through the first movement is a um, representation movement of the birds that you hear in Singapore. This bird called Koh bird, and it calls out this like ooh sound in the morning, and it's really annoying. But he kind of represented it on the cello. The second movement is rain. The third movement is about this again bone man that goes around and collect your recyclables around the country, and the last one is fable. So it's kind of it's a neat piece with interesting techniques included for the cello. Yeah,
Sounds wonderful.
yeah, it was fun.
So let me ask you about 15 Minutes of Fame. So what attracted you to 15 Minutes of Fame?
The fact that I can play new works and interact with new people and just learn new things, because I think it's such a cool project to be able to try and play original compositions and like fresh out of the box. And I like how it's such a quick thing. Like every tune is like a minute and let's go to the next one. And I think it's fun to do something like that. I did a concert with a project actually started by my professor here at USC, Professor Claire Bryant. She was in partnership with the museum, and we did this Third Americans art music kind of collaborative experience. And basically the composers get to pick an artwork, um, th- one out of the 30 artworks, and they write a piece of music, a short piece of music, related to this artwork. And we basically the pieces are kind of short, and everything is just like boom 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 boom, and it was so cool. You get a variety of everything. It's like having a giant platter of Thanksgiving plate, and you just have different ingredients and flavors of everything. So I think it's super fun that way.
Well, that's it. So how long were the pieces in that art project?
Uh, it was between a minute and a half to I think 3 minutes. But
Wow.
they weren't too long. Yeah.
And how do you? So one of the things that most musicians, when they come to the project, they talk about how what's their uh, what's the right word? Sort of how much energy and exercise it is to go from style to style to style to style, right? Because it's hard to be in like one frame with, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
romantic or whatever, and then you're going to something
Mm-hmm.
where you're doing scordatura. I mean, how does that
Mm-hmm.
feel going from? Is that fun? Is it hard? Is it
I I think it's super fun for me. Like, I as long as I think if I for me it helps to write out the characters of the piece at the beginning of the music, and just kind of like taking a second before playing the next piece would be really helpful. But I just think it's so exciting to just go from one to the next. It's like getting a whole bunch of outfits in your fitting room and trying to try out all the different outfits, and
right?
it works and it's awesome.
So for this 50 minutes of fame, you're
Hmm.
open for any and everything.
I think so,
Be,
yeah.
beware.
Yeah, I think so. I think, yeah, I've been very fortunate that here in school I get to experiment with wild programming. Like I did the Skoda tour was kind of wild to me. There was a piece I played by India Kehoe 21 with which I had to operate a loop pedal and play the kick drum at the same time while playing the cello. It's kind of wild too. But I think it's going to be awesome. I think I'm up for anything.
Great.
That doesn't distract my instrument. Yeah.
Right. No destroying the instrument, because some composers
Yeah.
will do that too. I forget who was. Uh, yeah. Anyway, we've gotten lots of pieces. The Yeah, it sounds great. Cool. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I get so I'm just throwing a little seed out there, just so you know, we're collaborating with this art gallery these days, and we've been
Hmm.
doing 15 minutes of fame with dance.
Oh my gosh, I love it. My
Yeah,
first recital here in school, I did with dancers too. I programmed a recital with dancers. I love it. I love working with dancers. It's so, like, the art form is so direct. Like, you can see their movement and reacting to your music. I think
yeah.
it's impressive, but yeah,
It's
it's super
it's
cool.
it's great. So we'll have to figure out a way. I like the involvement of art too. We haven't. Let's just say I like to call the art is kind of our wrapper for our performance. We come in, we do a
Hmm.
15 minutes of fame performance, and it's kind of like a uh, sort of a soiree for the start of
Mm.
their art showing, which is nice. It's
Hmm.
great.
Yeah.
it's a very warm environment. I don't. I'll have to send you a video of it so you can take a look at it.
That would be
But
so
yeah,
cool.
yeah, it would be great. And so anyway, we'll think about we'll try to bring you up here to New York and do that
Well, I'm
because
not far.
that's what I like to hear.
We're still within the country, so.
Exactly right. So wait. Why don't you tell us a little bit about where you grew up, where you came from,
Mm-hmm.
and Singapore.
Yeah, so I grew up in Singapore, Southeast Asia. Really, um, if you spin the globe around from where we're at right now, and if you go further down just slightly, you'll see Singapore. It's a really small country, and there are a lot of people. There's a lot of arts and culture in the country. I definitely started with Western and Chinese traditional music practice. I started the cello when I was 10 or 11, and I was part of a Chinese orchestra actually. And I participated in string ensemble, string orchestras. So growing up, I was part of like both worlds. I played like Western classical music, and I played Chinese orchestra music and Chinese chamber music. And it's where I got so excited and passionate about folk and traditional music. just because of my background. And so I went to music school. I got the opportunity to work with different musicians. I was part of a new music ensemble as well. Um, yeah, kind of a mix of everything. And after graduating from my undergraduate program, um, I was working in Singapore for about 2 years, and during that time, I was part of like the Singapore Lyric Opera. I was part of major orchestras. I was also part of. Um, I have two chamber ensembles in Singapore that focuses on Chinese music and fusion music in Singapore. One of it's called String Works, and it's basically four Chinese fiddles with a cello, and we play original works written for us or um, arrangements of like Western classical music. We played Hungarians before, um, and we have this mashup of a piece written by a friend, and he wrote the combination of Flight of the Bumblebee and the traditional Chinese tune, Dance of the Golden Snake, and he kind of fused it together for our
Uh-huh.
ensemble. So that was really neat. That was super fun and one of my favorite experiences, actually. Um, and my other ensemble, Open Scout Project, we did. It's kind of like a mixed ensemble. We have the cello, we have instruments from the Chinese tradition in Singapore, the Malay tradition in Singapore, Indian tradition in Singapore. We have a Mongolian instrument as well. So it's kind of like a mix match and everything. And we play folk songs or original music as well. And yeah, that definitely brought my attention to, and my interest in representing different cultures and folk music. So that's where it really came from. And I came to the States for my master's, and I'm here now in South Carolina to finish on my doctorate. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Journey.
Cool. So let me. Do you have any questions for me about 15 Minutes of Fame or?
No, I was going to ask about like the performance, and you kind of answered that question. Um, because I would love to like play somewhere, and I think it's so exciting to represent these composers and to be able to show work somewhere. So I think that is very exciting, and I'm very grateful because I think it's once in a lifetime kind of opportunity. So I'm super excited for it, and you probably answered my question already. So
Well, yeah, and so this is uh because I don't think did we set a date yet? I don't remember if we set a date.
no, it's kind of like a brief, like in January somewhere 2025. Yeah.
So if you're especially if you're interested in doing with the dance, what I'll do
Mm-hmm.
is I'll talk um, to the gallery because I would love to do it there. It's a perfect place to do it, and we'll see what time
Mm-hmm.
that they're kind of free, and then
Mm-hmm.
we'll work at it and we'll try to make it. Uh, we'll work out the dates. And
Mm-hmm.
usually, what we do is we have a rehearsal where we have kind of a big
Mm-hmm.
rehearsal and we just go over the pieces. So they'll have recordings that you'll have done for them already.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll have
Yeah,
an idea of what the piece is like, and
absolutely.
then we just work out the details, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because live is live, recording is recording, right? You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and then we'll uh, we'll work that out. We'll find a happy medium for everybody, and then a
Mm-hmm.
week later we usually do the performance in the gallery and we live stream it. What we'll
Okay.
probably do in between there is uh, take you into the TV studios we have here. So I do a biweekly. Right now, it's biweekly TV show here in Manhattan,
Mm-hmm.
and so we'll bring you into the studios and we'll do a live, more structured recording. And
That is so cool.
yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
I'll show you. I've got the thing that uh, anyway, different players, we do different things and so forth. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but we did a recording with this soprano who had all these different percussion instruments. And I get a
Ooh.
feeling we'll kind of do it that way, where we go in,
Okay.
we record all the works, and we'll get different angles, we'll do different things, we'll have the
Mm-hmm.
composers in the background, so I don't know, they can come in
That
and
sounds so
experience.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. We'll have a little fun, do a little recording,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll do the official performance at the gallery.
Sounds
Sound
awesome.
good?
Yeah, that sounds like a really, really fun project. I can't be happier.
Excellent. Well, I can. May I speak for all the future composers, and we're really happy for musicians like you to just embrace our work and be so excited to play it. It's great.
Of course. Yeah.
I just want to say I remember seeing your, like I said, it must have been for Open Project and Open Score Project, and I was just like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
this is a musician that we want. Your enthusiasm
Yes.
definitely comes out. It's great.
Thank you. Yay.
Cool. What other questions do you have?
Mm, I cannot think of any right now,
Okay.
and I think it seems quite clear. I'm just waiting for September, I suppose, right? To get the scores. Is it September?
Yeah, I
Yes.
believe the
Okay.
call. Is it? Yes, the deadline's in September. So let me tell you a little bit about that. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been like totally overwhelmed these days, but we push out the call for works, and
Mm-hmm.
we try to get it as far and wide as possible. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I we usually average around 90 to 100 scores that come in for you
Mm-hmm.
to review. Cello
Mm-hmm.
might be a little bit different. Our last cello
Mm-hmm.
call, we got 190.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah,
That is awesome.
it is awesome. It's great. I'm definitely going to reach out to all those people who submitted those cello pieces and just say,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you didn't get picked that time, but you might want to. By the way, don't pick anything that wasn't written for you.
Okay. Okay, we'll do
some
that.
some
Yeah, I was
composers
looking
cheat.
at it. I will definitely remember that. Do you mind if I shared it with like school composers or like friends, like composer
Everybody.
friends?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
yeah,
It'll
absolutely.
be it'll be exciting. Yeah,
Everybody and anyone. You know,
yeah.
it's all open game. So yeah, and yeah, and look, I think. Well, I mean, if you're super open, like the 15 minutes of fame is a little bit unique in the fact that we have kind of two types of composers. We've got
Mm-hmm.
the people who are new to the project that they see something that attracts them and they come and they start writing for it, and then we have our
Mm-hmm.
regulars, and I
Mm-hmm.
call them regulars because they've submitted to 10 or 20 calls.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow,
because
that's very passionate. That's awesome.
they are very passionate, and because it's really short, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's not a lot of time,
Yeah.
and a lot of them are sort of what's the right word? They're passionate about both the project, but they could be also passionate about the
Mm-hmm.
form. They love short form, um,
Yeah.
and a lot of that. So they go and they research the musicians, and they like
Mm.
because they also know how to not gaming isn't the right thing, but they want to be selected, so
Mm-hmm.
they write the way the musician wants to pick. But if
Oh yeah.
but if you leave it open, I I
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if you get a lot of pieces about Singapore.
Oh, that's awesome. That would
Yeah,
be.
yeah,
I mean, That would be perfect, actually. But I just anything and everything. Can the composers like reach out to me directly if they have any questions, or if they want to like hear me try something?
Yeah, if
Yeah,
they
I'll
want
be
to.
down for that. Yeah,
What's the
I'll
best way
be
to
I'll be
reach you?
happy to set it up. My email, my email. Yeah. It's. Do I need to like say it here, or do you want to put
You
it?
know,
It's on the
you know
call,
what?
isn't it?
I think, yeah, we'll put it on the call. If it's not on the call
Yeah,
already, or
I'm pretty sure it is.
yeah, if it is,
I don't
then
remember. I have to look at
great. Yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, yeah. Anyways, it's. I'm always a little bit careful about people's emails and so forth, but we could always add it into the bottom of the notes
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah. I think emails would work best, and we can set something up. And if they want me to send a recording or a clip of to test something out, I'm happy to do that too.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Cool. Well, Eunice, I can't tell you how excited I am about being this. Oh, you know what? Wait. Let me also say, if there's anybody out there listening and they want to like send us a question, please feel free. We'll answer your questions now. Meanwhile, since I know my engineer is also a composer, let me bring her on and just. Ro, do you have any questions?
Hi, yeah, and Eunice, I was wondering, so as a uh, also has a Chinese traditional background of
Hmm.
background music for, is it how does it affect your playing? Like, do you have any
So,
prefer like particular techniques that affected
mhm.
by Chinese traditional music or something?
I would say like if the composer is specific about like style, for example, they say they want this to be like Chinese backing opera singing style. Okay, then the grace notes will be different for me. I play the grace notes a little bit differently. I would definitely go research like first like what exact style they want. So I'm gonna try to like
Mhm.
emulate it on the cello. For me, it's mostly the fingerings that I choose that create different portamentos between notes, and that kind of like shows that element of a culture. And also the bow technique, sometimes like the bow speed I choose to use will be different as well. So there's not like a specific thing I do differently. It's just some choices that I make for my left and my right hand to try to imitate that specific culture. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Like sparkling here and there.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, like it's
Thank
just
you.
if you can be as descriptive as you can, that will be helpful so that I can try to, find the sound that you want. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks.
Mhm. Of
And
course.
and let me ask you too. So scordatura, while in performance, that is definitely a wild technique to use. I will
Mm-hmm.
admit that. What other crazy techniques have you used?
Um, I mean, the typical extended techniques are, I say typical, but yeah, I gotta be really careful. Um, but the typical extended techniques of the Western repertoire is commonly used, like the ponticello, alto ponticello, bowing on the bridge, bowing on the tailpiece, um, rhythmic tapping. Yeah, there's one piece by Jessica Meyer Swerve. I love that piece a lot, and it's part of my first recital too with the dancers. And it's cello and loop pedal, and we had like percussive sounds on the instrument, and you loop that sound, and you know, um, yeah. So anything that you can find in the handbook of extended techniques for string instruments will be fine. Yeah, that's why I'm like really open to composers reaching out, because when people write music in school, sometimes they will send it to me and like, hey, can you see his work? Or like if this is like comfortable to play, and I'll be happy to give feedback too.
Sure, excellent. Yeah,
Mhm.
I one of our 15 minutes of fame is with Craig Hultgren. I don't know if you have you heard him.
No, I haven't.
He's a cellist. He's now based in Iowa. We're actually, let
Hmm.
me do a little pitch for me. He's playing one of my pieces in a week and a half. Yeah. It's nice down
Ooh.
in Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh wow.
So we'll be down
Oh.
there. Yeah.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm excited. I haven't been down there in a long time. It's a great bunch of composers and musicians, so I'm looking forward to
Hmm.
being there. But he did. He's also a very avant-garde cellist, I guess we'd call him.
Hmm.
One of my favorites is him holding the cello above his head and singing
Hmm.
into the F hole. Wow.
Oh, that's so fun. That's neat. Like it's such a cool sound because you're like in a like you're in a space with like tall columns and that you hear the sound reverb
Ex-
or instrument. I think is super cool. Yeah, that's
exactly.
neat.
Yeah. I gotta send you his 15 minutes of fame just so you see some of the wildest. He's one of our cellists that also likes to push the envelope a little bit. So yeah. He's an
Love
awesome
it.
player. Yeah. He's great.
Yeah, please
Um,
send it to me. That'll be awesome.
um, cool, excellent. Well, Eunice, I am so excited. Yeah, but I guess onwards and forwards, right?
Yeah, that'll be
So
awesome.
good luck on your defense today. I'm sure you'll do
You.
great.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we'll yeah, I'll probably edit this video a little bit, and I use it as a promo for the call, and
Hmm.
just for the upcoming stuff. And of course, if you have any questions or whatever, just always reach out. Um, I might ask you for some links to some audio and some video of your performances that I
Yeah,
was just listening to you
absolutely.
mention. They would be great to incorporate in
Hmm.
that.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Yay. You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me today. And
Thank you.
we have this project, most importantly.
And let me end this with stay on for a second.